What's up, everybody? Troy from GlitchFeed here at RTX 2016. I'm joined by Andrew from Boss Key Studios. We just checked out Lawbreakers, and honestly, wonderful, wonderful game. A really, really cool shooter. Tell me a little bit about Lawbreakers, or everyone about Lawbreakers, if they haven't heard of it yet.
So Lawbreakers is a class-based first-person shooter. It takes place way in the future after this cataclysmic event called the Shattering, where the moon kind of blew up. And there's all gravity anomalies everywhere, and it's like humanity has rebuilt. So there's all these crazy gravity future tech around. You see that low gravity anomaly in the middle of the map, where you can like jump into it, get some verticality and blind fire. So we have 4 classes in the game right now. It's class-based. It's symmetrical classes, so it's kind of like old school like TF kind of thing, or Team Fortress, where instead of Team A versus Team B, like red versus blue, it's Law versus the Breakers. So it's 2 factions.
Oh, okay, all right. I believe I was on the Breakers side over here. I'm pretty
sure. It's the Law side over there.
I was on the Law side.
Law side.
That was very cool. So it's very class-based. Are they? And they're symmetrical between both teams. So you're not like too worried about what team you're.
Right. So our classes. One example is one class is the Vanguard class, just like the they have a kind of in this like flight suit, almost like an F-16 suit. And they can fly around the map kind of like Iron Man, right? And then, so there's 2 characters. There's on the Lost side, it's Maverick is the character, like Vanguard. And then on the Breaker side, it's Tosca 9.
Yeah, I think I was playing as Maverick for most of that game, and it was a really kind of cool dynamic to switch between heroes as kind of the game shifted a little bit. It was very cool. So let's talk a little bit about development. You guys obviously, it's kind of a new game. It's breaking out, new IP, that whole thing. Where did kind of the inspiration, where did that start?
Well, the studio was founded by Cliff Blazinski and Ariane Brussier. So Cliff Gears in Unreal Tournament fame, and Ariane as well with Killzone series. So those 2 guys came together and assembled this really awesome team of all these really big shooter fans and devs from like other studios, and we all kind of came together and like arena shoot. We want to make a game that kind of went back to like the old school kind of games, the 90s PC games.
Yeah.
And so arena shooters really very much in Lawbreakers DNA, and so the game's really about like 360-degree aiming angles. It's all about checking everywhere around you. It's all about getting verticality too, so that's why like gravity plays a big part of the game. There's a lot of abilities that mess with gravity, whether it's increasing gravity to slow people down, or creating zero-G pockets, or if it's just like that low gravity anomaly in the middle of the map, you want to blind fire and you actually use your gun like a jetpack, to go around across the map.
I noticed that too, and even the low gravity areas, I was firing my gun and realizing I'm being pushed backwards right now. Like it's really, the effects of the gun are play a part in maneuverability. Really.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a really important part. And it kind of once people kind of realize what they can do and it clicks, they can start doing really crazy things.
Yeah, I started realizing as like firing my like chain gun, I'm going, oh, I'm moving back. I can use this to my advantage. It's
exactly.
Cool.
And especially when you're trying to go, our new mode we're showing is Turf War, which is kind of like it's like a 3 capture zone domination mode, but it's like a speed chess version, so it's round based. So there's 3 zones. Each one, when you capture a zone, it's worth a point. And when all zones are captured, there's a 30-second intermission. Then you go back into capture zones. The first team at 13 points wins. Yeah. So it's really just very, very fast-paced. So learning to go from one side of the map to the other with blind fire and using your shift abilities, even like the Titan class, the big class with the rocket launcher. That rocket launcher, you can like rocket surf, and you can like blind fire and use it as a jetpack going across the map. And he becomes one of the fastest characters in the game. He may seem slow, but he's not at all.
He's slow when he's walking around. The second you get that low grab, you are rocketing across.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No pun intended. So yeah, in Lawbreakers, it's breaking the laws of gravity. I feel like is kind of the little connection.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things in there, right? It's like there's the law and there's the breakers, who break laws, and there's also we're kind of trying to like put our own spin on a lot of things that are in games, like in shooter games lately. So our other mode, Overcharge, is very much it's a neutral capture the flag game mode, but we try to put our spin on it as like a capture and hold, where they actually hold the battery. And here we're trying to put a spin on domination in a cool way, domination kind of game modes with Turf War. So we're trying to like it's kind of like the name is all encompassing of like laws of gravity, also just kind of like what we're used to with like game modes, and also with like some class design stuff. We're trying to like make it so it's not it's not like a hard I can't do this. We want more like a fighting game where if you were to play like if you were to grab Ryu in Street Fighter and all of a sudden someone picks Dalcium, you're not going to go, oh well, I can't beat Dalcium, can't do that.
I can't do that. Yeah. So you guys are in alpha right now for the summer, it sounds like. What's next for the game?
So, like I said, we're in kind of the alpha roadmap right now, where we started it in June, right after our E3 showing. And so we're riding it all summer long. We're actually going to be dropping Promenade, which is a new map we're showing on the floor here, which is different from Grandview, which is the map we've kind of seen. It's so Promenade's our version of the 3rd Street Promenade in this post-apocalyptic future where like the Ferris wheel is this gravity wheel thing. It's kind of cool. So we're dropping that map. We're also going to drop Turf War in later this month as well, so players are going to have every single time we actually open a new test, we want players to play something new, whether that's a new map, a new mode, or new tweaks to the gameplay. We actually already made some changes to the gameplay based on community feedback.
Oh, cool.
So base movement speed was increased. We're also changing how heal stations are also occurring in the map, and that's not all. Like we're going to be really looking at our analytics and also looking at the player feedback, comparing the two, testing like a solution internally, and then putting them up to be evaluated in the test. So every single time we do a patch, there'll be new stuff that's actually changing the game.
Right. Do you think that's kind of where development's moving? I see a lot of games are doing that kind of long-tailed or long-head beta and a lot of community feedback. How has that maybe shifted? As you said, you've already had player feedback change the game. Is that going to be the same moving post-launch as well?
Yeah, this game is not the end of it. This game is going to be a living product, right? So we want to make a community. We want players to kind of come into the community, tell us what they think about the game, what are the hard edges of the game, and really so we can soften them down and making so that we're getting more and more polished as the game goes on. The gameplay gets tighter and tighter, and then the game loop gets even better and more fun. And that way we'll have a much better experience every time they play the game. We're going to be doing this pretty much for as long as the game is live. So this is how we kind of want to do things.
That's really, really cool. It's great to see the developers, paying attention to the community and adapting to it too.
And we want that two-way street, right? So just saying you're listening is one thing. Actually going and have that full conversation so that they say something. We actually we're on the forums talking to them. We're explaining why we're doing it, and it's not just the designers, it's the programmers, it's the artists, everybody going there having that conversation. And we're very receptive to everything that goes on. Good feedback, feedback can also be it's amazing, don't change it, to I don't like it at all, and here's like a 3-page dissertation why. We love that stuff.
So I could sit and chat about this game all day, but where can they find more information on Lawbreakers in the meantime?
You can go sign up for the alpha at lawbreakers.com. You can also follow Bosky Productions at Bosky. You can also follow us on Twitter at Lawbreakers. Check out our forums, Lawbreakers forums. You can check us out on the Steam community forums. We're everywhere. Just as long as you search Lawbreakers game, we're there and we're looking at it.
That's fantastic. Definitely check the game out. It's absolutely a blast to play. Thank you so much for the time.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks, you.
Bud. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you'd like to see more of our RTX coverage, be sure to check out the playlist.
And make sure to leave us a like, comment, or subscribe if you want to see more videos from RTX or just in general on our channel.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.